and welcome back to Skyrocket Automotive. Today, we've got the Proton...
My channel, my channel, no, my channel, my channel. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? Hello, welcome back to Skyrocket Automotive. This is Farmboy's Proton Impian. I genuinely love these. I love Proton anyway. I really like these. I think they're such a misunderstood car. Your Peugeot went pop, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. On the way home from work, and it just decided it didn't want to be a car anymore.
Bad times. You needed a car, and we went to look at an iGo, and we got halfway to Reading, and the guy let us down. Yeah,
before that, there was the Focus that the bloke never got back to us about.
That's true, yep. Can you guess what platform we bought these vehicles on? Anyway, halfway to Reading, I'd been eyeing this up, and I'm not going to lie, it's had a little tickle with a rattle can or two, and I think the guy must have been stood about 30 foot away when he tried to paint it. The good news is, mechanically, I think it's brilliant. Laurie.
Ah.
Oh my God, it's an Almeritino. This thing is so well equipped, it's ridiculous. Mechanically, it seems like it's in great condition. It does need a couple of bits. The fog lights are smashed. Yes. Both fog lights, but Farmboy was able to find those in astonishingly short order, considering this is a Malaysian car.
And for a surprisingly good price.
Yeah, a Malaysian car, 17 years old, and you picked them up within, what, 24 hours of buying the car?
Yeah, not even that.
So, I mean, it's got ice cold air conditioning. It came with 3/4 of a tank of fuel.
Yep.
2 keys of varying condition, but it did come with 2 keys. The power steering leak that was mentioned on the previous MOT, the guy had fixed. 4 new tyres, 3 new tyres. 3 new tyres. It's huge. It's got a massive boot. The interior is beautiful. It's very brown, but I like a brown interior, and the seats are really comfy. It's great. I love it. What more is there in the second-hand market you could possibly need for a daily that we bought on, what, 15 minutes notice?
Yeah, about that.
Do you care to tell the folks at home how much you paid for this thing?
I spent a whole £499 on this car.
Like, what do you want? Even the crows are impressed. What more could you want? Less than £500, drive it away today with an MOT and 3/4 of a tank of fuel and new tyres. Now, about that, the MOT was only about, what, 2-3 weeks?
If that, yeah. It's due Monday.
I don't see a problem with that if you don't, so we're going to have to get our skates on. The good news is that this Almeritino keeps slowing down for some reason. What a miserable car. Previous Almera was so much better. So the MOT's booked now, so it's going to go around and fly through its MOT.
Or give us a shopping list.
It's going to be very embarrassing if it fails miserably, because it was me that was walking around going,
this is great.
You've got yourself a minty little car there, my friend. So I'm going to be eating some humble pie, I think, if it fails miserably, but I think it will do fairly well. And even...
Nope.
Oh, no, after you.
So, if it does go wrong, at least I have a bloke that can fix it.
Yeah, that's fair. Who's that? The Proton has been to Steve's.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad, in fairness. Remember, set your expectations here. We need to give these guys a bit more context, I think.
Yes.
This car was parked on a driveway at the end of a cul-de-sac, more or less in the hedge, with a gap, between the house and the car. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I missed something.
In your defence, you missed something you couldn't see.
Yeah, that's fair. But I'm gonna take that, actually. I couldn't see it. When we went and looked at the car, I couldn't see it, and there'd been no mention of this. The car needs welding. Don't panic. First things first, the reason that I'm gonna take that very kind thing that Farmboy just said there, normally when a car needs welding, it comes round to me and the boys park it on the forecourt and point out where it's needed. This time, they came round and said, would you like to have a look while it's on our lift? How much are we going to see? 15 minutes notice, it's about to piss down with rain, rolling around on a driveway, you can't get to this side of the car. And in all fairness, there was no sign of any rust at all, really. No. So, with all that said, what else does it need?
The steering radiator.
Which we did spot, in fairness, that might be a problem.
The third thing was one that we knew was going to fail on anyway, which is the lovely wood screwed door handle.
Yeah, he didn't. That wasn't old mate's finest moment. If you're thinking of flipping cars in future, my friend, we're very pleased with the Proton. Please don't use wood screws next time. It's got a slight exhaust blow, which has reared its head as of day before yesterday.
If that.
You got out and said, is that exhaust leaking? So it looks like a piece of gum's fallen out. What else? Oh, it needs a tyre.
It needs a tyre. Amazingly enough, it had 3 new tyres put on it, as we mentioned before.
That's such a mug off.
The tyre that wasn't changed is the one that changed.
They're not expensive tyres either. They're a really common size. Again, the guys at Steve's do tyres, so they're gonna get a price on the tyre. We're still waiting for the fail sheet, which is why this pair of 2 brain-celled imbeciles is frantically trying to remember a very simple list we looked at less than 3 minutes ago.
I mean, those 2 brain cells are shared. See, I'm using it at the moment, gone.
Those 2 brain cells are shared, I should point out.
Advisories. We knew we needed to do the front fogs.
Yeah.
They're in the back of the car, they're ready to go on.
Yeah, they're mint as well, let me grab them. Somehow, you jammy bastard, you managed to find a pair of immaculate, genuine Proton lights.
With bolts.
They're an odd shape, so I'm going to drop this now. Yeah, they mentioned some slightly corroded rear brake lines. We're getting under the back of the car anyway to do some welding, so we'll have a look. Can I just say, under anybody else's ownership, most likely, this would be the end of the line for this little car. Can you believe that? The fact that someone buys it for less than £500 with a short MOT to get to work for a couple of weeks, finds out it needs welding, and that's it. What a waste of a perfectly good car. There's nothing else wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the brakes. It doesn't need wheel bearings, no suspension advisories. It drives brilliantly. Everything works with the exception of the door lock on that side and the door handle. Does anything else on this not work?
The centre consoles were just a little bit iffy, but...
Yeah, actually, let's scrap it. Do you not think that's a disgusting waste of a car? I think it's a disgusting waste of a car, and I won't let it happen, so we're going to fix it.
And unfortunately for me, my oldest and dearest friend won't even allow me to do that if I wanted to.
You tell the story.
We're sat in it, pulled up to the side of the road, just outside the bloke's driveway, you know, do all the tax insurance, all that line of things. And I get, if you ever think you're about selling it, tell me, I'll buy it. Just as seductively as that as well.
Well, I had to turn on my charms, didn't I? But I literally said to Farmboy, if you don't like this car within a week and you decide you want to sell it, I will buy it from you. I was that convinced it's a good car. And I feel vindicated in that, to be honest with you.
And unfortunately for him, I fell in love with it.
Brilliant.
I might scrap it, spite him.
Right, cards on the table. We've been friends since he was 2 or 3 years old. If you scrap this car without giving me a chance to save it first, I will never speak to you again. I will never speak to you again. Are these wings plastic? Dude, we've got shit to do, man.
Yeah, we have.
Your daily needs welding. Stop! Lovely. Right, it was time to check out all of this welding that the car wanted. As you can see, it's not exactly ridiculous. So I started with the driver's side because that was the littlest patch. Just the usual grinding and welding stuff, not really anything of any importance to show you, to be honest with you, and I was quite pleased with how it came out. While I was under the car doing all of this, Farmboy set to with one of the advisories, and that was the discoloured side repeaters.
So, it is going to need a new bulb.
As you can see, he managed to whistle the bulbs out and discovered that they were horribly discoloured. The driver's side was less than cooperative, let's put it that way.
Oh my! No, at least I can get to the bulb.
So frustrations aside, he set to by chucking them in the ultrasonic. We had the heat on nice and low, gave him a nice little fizzy bath just to get all the algae and moss that had somehow found their way into the lenses out of the way. And they came up like brand new. So yeah, kudos to Farmboy for cleaning those up. And as per always with Farmboy, he was very thorough with the cleaning too. And check this out, the difference. Brand new. Things have escalated a little bit on this side, I'm afraid. The other side, I was actually relatively shocked at how well that went. This side, I've cut the piece out that we were told had rot, and under there, sort of, the Yanks like to call them a cab corner. So yeah, just the bottom of the tub on this edge, there's a hole about yay big. I don't like repairing them from underneath. They always look crap. You're never sure you've got it all. So we're going to have to whip the carpet out, unfortunately, on this side, which is fine other than a bit of a width restriction, but that's twofold. It's my fault for parking the car where I parked it there. It's my fault for having too many kebabs. I made my bed. I've got to lie in it. But not right now. I need to get my steps in. Here we go. Update, first snag of the job.
So we've been sat here for a while now, looking at pictures, trying to figure it out. Our door handle, or at least what's left of it, seems to have a part missing from here, which we think maybe sat at the bottom of the door. We need to get the door card off to find it.
That's going to be fun.
We have the mechanism, which attaches to the bar, which opens the door. This might explain why the door wasn't opening.
Especially as soon as you push down on that, the door pops open, no problem, but the mechanism's shattered.
Yeah. And then we've got these parts. We've figured out, by looking at some of the webbing that's broken, some of these parts go together, like so. The problem is they've been previously glued together, where these should actually be two separate parts. This should be on the inside of the door, with the door handle then going up and into it, and clipping into place.
The problem we've got is that what we need to basically do is reconstruct that frame inside the door first, make sure everything works properly, then work out how to attach the handle. And the main snag with a Proton, I say the main snag with a Proton, not all Protons and not all parts, door handles for the Impian are only shared between the Impian or Waja, however you want to pronounce it, and another model that escapes me now because I'm all full of welding fumes. But basically, there are none. There are no new ones in this country. There are no breakers currently that I've been able to find. So we're pretty much stuck fixing what's there. We have it on good authority that this belonged to an old lady before the person we bought the car from. This is classic grandson energy. Don't pull Nanny's door handle, snap. Game over. Interestingly though, it wasn't raised as an issue on any previous MOTs.
So this could have happened, well, probably has happened within the last year.
Yeah.
Unless the bonding here has failed in the last year.
Yeah, true. Or old mate we bought the car off had a real temper.
We have made good headway though. We've made good headway.
It's not been too bad at all. It's been worse than I was expecting it to be. It's been a valiant effort, put it that way. I can sleep tonight knowing that it will be as strong, if not stronger, than it was when it left the factory.
Before we go, should we give an update on what we've managed to get done so far in day one?
You say day one?
Sorry, in half day one.
Less than that. We didn't start this until gone 3. Floor to the driver's side, sorted. Happy days. That's all been under sealed, and I've obviously painted and repaired the area that I had to grind back for a good earth. You've been taking care of the side repeaters.
Yep, that's both of those done.
Yep. We've discovered more rust. It's not loads, it's just more, so I'm taking that as a win. So tomorrow we need to it's a patch about that big now. I had to cut it out to continue finding the rot that I'd found.
I'd rather it was gone, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just because it's a shit box doesn't mean you bodge it. Do you know what I mean? It's welded back together. It's not like we've troweled body filler in there. We need to get an answer about the tyre. I think those lads got busy doing tyres, funnily enough. Steering rack boot should be nice and easy. In fairness, maybe we look at getting a generic one on the way in tomorrow. I'm going to kick myself for saying this. The track rod end doesn't look too bad as far as removing it, so fingers crossed it won't spin. Yeah, just the tiniest of patches on the outer sill. Still kicking myself as to how I didn't spot that. So failures, we've got the door handle, the exhaust leak, the tyre, steering rack boot, that last little bit of floor, and a tiny little patch on the outer sill. The rest of it is just nice to haves. Have a look at the brake pipes, and then just change those front indicators, which you've wanted to do since day dot anyway. It didn't fail the MOT on them, but it would pretty it up.
I mean, I've got them.
Yeah.
And I believe someone has said, there's only 3 bolts?
It is.
There we
Amazingly, you haven't even got to take an under tray off. You just literally just under the bumper, and there are 3 Phillips head screws. You undo them and the entire unit comes out backwards. Unplug it, plug the new one in, push it through, do up 3 Phillips screws. That's it. And that's going to really improve the look of the whole front end of the car, I think. I hope so. Whew. Hello, it's the next day. I just cracked on with the welding because it's welding, and to be honest with you, I find welding videos really, really boring. Yes, okay, normally I would go hell for leather to try and make it as minty as physically possible. This is MOT welding, and we're on a time crunch here. We need this car done by the end of the day. We spoke to Sean at Steve-O's.
Yep.
He's going to get you a tyre when?
Should be here by, he said about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock-ish.
Perfect. So that gives us 2-3 hours to button up the last bits. So we've done the welding. Yep. We've sorted out a steering rack gaiter. Yep. So we just need to whip that in there quickly. We need to sort this door handle.
Yes.
That's becoming a problem. You're on the phone to the Malaysians.
Yes.
The Malaysian connection, it might be happening.
If they ever get off break.
If they ever get off break, yeah. The 2 messages in a row, they're like, now's break time. I respect that. I'm smoking a fag. We're steaming ahead now. The next job we're going to tackle while the front end of the car's up in the air is we're going to sort these front fogs out. I wish other front fog assemblies came out like that. So it's 3 Phillips screws and an electrical connector. It all comes out from behind. So you get under, undo 3 screws in theory, pull the front fog back, plug the new one in, push it back in, zip, zip, zip. I think we're starting to answer this question of how bad can a sub £500 Proton be though. Stop being horrible to these little guys, they're brilliant. Also, you found out that the police used to use these.
Yes. I can't remember where now either. It was a
Homicide.
Homicide.
It was homicide apparently. Yeah, that's really cool though that they gave these little things a chance. I mean, I don't know how they fared, but apparently they...
I mean, that video, it seemed to be screaming through that street.
Yeah, so... There you go, got some police pedigree, as well as it's also a race car. I'm gonna go and have a coffee. Get on with the fog lights then, come on.
Where else?
How's it looking so far, man?
It's got there.
Say again. I'm waiting for the comment.
Inevitable crunch. I drop everything.
Oh no, I'm waiting for the comment section cretins to start giving me grief about my little Guild Impact, which is just perfect for this job and didn't cost 900 quid. Oh yeah.
1 more to go and then this is going to fall on my face.
I might have to start rating cars. I'm thinking like a car review, but what they like to actually work on.
Okay.
And I've got to say, so far, it's a solid 7 or 8. It's been a delight.
Everything is accessible.
Yeah. It's like, I'll tell you what it's like. Oh my God, which makes sense because of what it's based on. It's like working on a 90s car.
Yes.
I still fail to see why people don't like Proton's business model. You could have a brand new, basically 90s car with lots of modern little bits and pieces for dirt cheap and a warranty.
Yeah.
And when it gets old and you need to fix it, you actually can. What clip?
The electrical connection.
Well. I know the paint's not great, but it's freshened it up right up.
It has freshened it right up. It does actually. It looks like it's gone from a banger to a beauty.
Yeah. Wheels, lights, glass. Normally, you can get away with some shonky paint as long as those 3 things look all right, and this is testament to it. I don't know about you, but I think that's really improved things. Sean will be due the tyre in probably an hour and a half, theoretically, by the end of today. This terminally ill banger is home free for another year.
Easy.
So it gives it a whole other year for the head gasket to go.
Please don't give me that.
I'm going to be honest with you, I absolutely loathe doing steering rack gaiters. It's one of those little oversights in design that just feels so out of order. You have to disturb all of the steering geometry and potentially mess up the alignment to change a piece of rubber that keeps water out, but very seldom keeps grease or anything like that in. Just irritates the nuts off of me. So anytime I'm going into doing a steering rack gaiter, I'm already agitated. And I was expecting a cheap 2008 car to be an absolute disaster to work on. But the Proton surprised me again. Every single step of the way, this car just behaved itself. I knocked the split pin out like it was nothing. I popped the castellated nut loose and it spun off no problem, and the track rod end stayed exactly where it was. Undid no problem at all. I'm gobsmacked at this thing. I really am.
like that.
I don't believe it.
Has it just gone straight off?
The castellated nut came off, the split pin came out, the lock nut undid, and it's just popped out on its own by tapping the knuckle, which
Beautiful.
is probably the first time ever that that's happened. With the exception of the obnoxious squeaking sound, this thing was just butter. So, a little bit of spray grease along the track rod just to help the new boot along, slid that on, a couple of cable ties, right as rain. And then, because of the fact that everything cooperated, I was able to put the track rod end back exactly where it went. Love it. Well, that got emotional for a bit, but the door card's off. The less said about it, the better. The good news is the door card's off. Not technically the car's fault. Daft design. Big ass, whole ass, huge ass, old whole ass, great big ass plastic sheet across the entire door. All right, and everyone else basically just uses cling film. But yeah, let's make a whole moulding. Okay, let's go fishing. Farmboy,
Yes, sir.
a piece of your Proton?
Oh, thank you. This looks like a bit of a door. There's a latch that's missing off of the other bit.
That looks like the fella that operates. There's a spring here, I presume attaches to some. Either way, the good news is we're now into budget territory, at least, if we can't find the parts.
That may be the bar that goes along the top, which probably other chunk you're about to pull out. Yep.
Well, old mate took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, didn't he? Good lord.
I get the feeling someone might have been angry trying to get into the back door.
Yeah, this handle hasn't had a happy time of it.
Right, that's another piece of the puzzle.
Still, at least they did an absolutely abysmal job putting it back together.
It's staying together, fixed.
Happy days. Another piece, they textured that part. We need to do some CSI type work, but I think after that deserves a quick smoke.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Sean is underway with the tyre. That should be it. So,
Crossed.
Ooh. Hello, how are you? So the situation with the door handle got a little bit hectic, unfortunately. We stopped filming because we were losing light. The main issue that we've got is that the previous repair was appalling. They'd used epoxy resin. Just don't use epoxy resin. Unless you're casting something, just don't use epoxy resin. It's crap. It's not an adhesive. It's a gap filler, and it doesn't stick properly. So sadly, someone already got there first, and they'd busted all of this Proton shit. So sadly, we tried until it was pitch black outside. We couldn't repair the handle. We managed to find a handle. Unfortunately, it's got to come from the States or Malaysia, I can't remember which, and that's going to put us outside of the retest period. So I've made a temporary repair to the handle. It should be fine. In fairness, Farmboy has absolutely no intention of using that door. So it just needs to work for the MOT, and on the very unlikely occasion that it's going to be opened one more time to replace what we've repaired. I just need to chuck the door back together, take it round to Steve's for the retest. As far as I know, we've done everything. Yep, suspension, prescribed areas. So the inner sill, the floor, they were welded. The exhaust leak, outer sill. Still pissed off that I missed that. The guys at Steve's sorted the tyre out. We've done the steering rack gaiter, and even the minors. We've done the indicator lens defect. We've done the indicator lens defective. That's the broken indicator lens. And obviously they've both been replaced, both sides now with nice new shiny bulbs. We've also done the side repeaters, and we've replaced the bulbs in them, so they'll be nice and orange and clean. And we checked out the other bits as far as the brake pipes and stuff, and everything's fine there. It's one of them things where they'll need to put it on there as an advisory, but there's nothing to worry about with the brake lines. They're covered in a coating. The whole underside of the car was undersealed. So, do we want to waste time scraping underseal off of brake lines? Probably not. Yeah, so I'm going to throw the door back together, and then hopefully we can whistle it round to Steve-O's for a retest. Okie dokie.
passed.
She passed. I'm genuinely impressed with this Impian. I've got to say, it reminds me very much of working on 90s Rovers. Everything just comes apart. Probably the latest vehicle I've come across that still feels like it wants to be worked on. So, really impressed.
Remember I pointed out to you how the front end looks?
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a Rover vibe to it. If you look back at the MG ZS that I painted, Laurie, well, at least it isn't that El Miratino again.
True.
If you look back on the MG ZS video where I painted the front end of my wife's daily MG ZS, you'll notice exactly what Farmboy means. They've got that same rakish, quite aggressive front end, but somehow still very pretty. Left on the advisories are an advisory for some light corrosion on another area of the vehicle. The brake pipes, I think I said in my little bit of B-roll when we put the car back together that was going to be a thing because the whole car's been undersealed. We didn't quite get all of the exhaust leak, which is a bit irritating.
No, it's got to be a pinhole somewhere.
Yeah, so we'll get back on that. Initially, this was going to be a one-parter, but I've had a lot of fun. I think you've had a lot of fun.
I've had a lot of fun.
I hope you guys have had a lot of fun. So, how bad can a sub £500 Proton Impian be? Turns out, not that bad at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a second part of this video where we finally treat this little thing to some mod cons.
Mod cons, making prettier.
Yeah, we're going to give it a bit of a birthday. The paint's not great, so we're going to do something with the paint. Maybe tart the wheels up a little bit. You managed to find a GSX badge.
I did. We have one missing on this side. Actually managed to find OE part. Still on the backing paper, so hopefully we'll be able to put it on straight.
That's very cool. And hopefully the glue hasn't gone off and it doesn't just fall straight back off again. You've got a door handle, fully working door handle.
Fully working door handle.
To get around our bodge, so we'll be fitting that. We've got to give this thing a polish and see if any of the silver comes up.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
Should we do the big reveal about why the silver may look the way it looks? This car used to be black. If you shoot back, Kyle, please, editing Kyle, please, just do your job for once in your life. I'm honestly so tired of you. If you have a look back at the shots of the engine bay, you'll see that the firewall / bulkhead is black. The car was black. It looks like it was painted fairly professionally.
Yeah, and then topped up, not so professionally.
Topped up is the best way to put it. Yeah, topped up from 30 foot away, and I'm pretty sure he was just scooping his hand into a bucket of paint and chucking it at it.
Quite possibly.
If you're on your travels and you're looking for a cheap daily, and you happen to see an older Proton for less than £500 with some MOT, just go for it. Evidently, you can't go far wrong.
No.
Lovely job. Right, you need to go to work.
I do need to go to work, you're right, yeah.
Well, thank you for joining in at Skyrocket Automotive, Farmboy. Nice to see you as always.
And remember, like, comment and subscribe.
Subscribe. You beat me to it. I'm going to leave that fumble in because you still beat me to it. Thank you very much for watching Skyrocket Automotive. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. You can find more videos here, and the channel thing, bingle, should be popping up around where Farmboy is stood right now.
I'm just going to disappear.
He's going to disappear. I'm going home. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh wait, where am I walking up?
See you later, mate.